subscribe.
What's up, guys? We're going to do a top 5 shows that I watched in 2024 that I believe you should. Starting off with number 1, my favorite show that I watched. I loved every episode when it was airing. It was on Prime and MGM. It is called From, From. It takes place in a town, and I don't want to really get into too much of the spoiling habit of it, but you get trapped in a town mysteriously, magically. Everybody comes in it in very different ways, but it all boils down to them driving and a tree falls in front of them. Once the tree falls, a group of crows come. A group of crows is called a murder. That's when you've entered the town. Let's just hope you don't enter it during the night, because during the night is when the creepy crawlies come out. The genre is horror and supernatural. It's very entertaining. It's got gore. It's got everything you need to keep you on your foot at night and entertain. Episode to episode, I was never disappointed. The main character is Boyd. He's the sheriff of the town, but a lot of people have their own times and places in the show. But you follow along with a family that enters the show, and you carry along through the story of everybody there. I'm just gonna say this: during the night, these monsters come out, and they're only allowed in the house if someone opens the door. Once they open the door, well, they do what they do. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it is very eerie. They'll try and manipulate you in any which way to get you to open that door. Not only that, but it has a massive lore. Stuff you can't even... It just keeps going on and on. It's great, very entertaining. I believe you should watch it. The main character also was on Sons of Anarchy, which is another show I enjoyed. Good music's good music. Good show's good show. That's my number 1 pick. Moving on to number 2. House of the Dragon. Now, I was waiting for this one. This is in the Game of Thrones universe, but this is before then. This is a spin-off of a precursor to the Winners of Coming event and all that. This is ages before all of that. It lives up to the name House of the Dragons, but there's only like 7. The CGI for it is literally almost like a couple $1 million just to have it animated or CGI'd. It's amazing. It's got all the Game of Thrones feels and all the medieval punishments and all of that. It's got some great callbacks to Game of Thrones with the shamings and all this. It's pretty good. My favorite character is Daemon Targaryen. That guy's a badass. It didn't let me down, and I'm hoping they air another season. It's great, and if you haven't watched it, watch it. But for the people who already know about the Game of Thrones universe, this isn't a shocker. A lot of people put it off, though. Don't put it off. This show is great. If you're bored, watch it. It's on HBO, but you can always find a way around or whatever you want to watch it on. That's number 2. Number 3, The Last of Us. Now, this show took off. It was great. It represented great for the game's storytelling. It was so well done that they made a TV show off of it. That's how well it was. And a lot of TV shows based off games, they don't get the justification they need. And they did it great. The actors for Joel and Ellie, great. Amazing. The storytelling, just like the game, I loved it. It was very representational. If you played the game before you watched the show, you would love it. If you just watched the show, you liked it. It was amazing. It had great ratings and it was renewed for a second season, which I'm looking forward to. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It takes place in post-apocalyptic, zombie-ish role. It's the zombies aren't zombies, more like controlled by a fungus, which they're like spores, and it's a real thing, but it's just not to the magnitude that it's exaggerated in the show and the games. Um, it takes place. It says that the temperature dropped in the world because of global warming, creating the spores to mutate and be able to control humans, which they're a real thing that ants go through, but humans they don't, because our normal body temperature kills off the bacteria or the fungus before it can control our brains. Long story short, it takes like a sci-fi-ish type of like deal with it, and it was amazing. Um, the fungus zombie things are secondhand to what you have to worry about in that world more than the survivors. And surviving alone in a post-apocalyptic world is already harsh enough. But it was well done. I like the story. The choice Joel has to make as the player in the game is a choice that the user, the player in the game, makes, and it could go either way. It's a 50-50. So showing that in the show, and that's the big climax at the end, because you're trying to figure out what Joel chooses. Now, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but it's whether to save or it's whether to save or kill Ellie, and for whatever reason, he ends up falling in like adornment for her, not love, but it's more like father daughter thing. It was great. You'll like it if you're looking for like a survival aspect, and if you've played the games. If you like The Walking Dead, this is done better than that piece of garbage over there. Walking Dead flopped, but it was good. I'll give it that. But that's number 3, The Last of Us. Number 4, Beast Games. Watch it on Prime. It is worth the watch. Just because it's a real life thing. You can actually sign up for it at beastgames.com, and it'll say it's closed, but it'll say under in the description you could leave your name, email, last name, state, and city, and you can sign up to actually attend the Beast Games. But I liked it because it's the fact that you see real reactions and real betrayals and just how people act. It's a great social experiment, and like Mr. Reese said, if that flops, he's done. They all compete for a $5 million cash pot, but before the game show, the guy even wins the $5 million, he's already given out more than $5 million. Like, you see people just watering at the mouth, and it's amazing. They're just nerve wracking, tense. People don't even get a choice sometimes before they're even eliminated, because you make it into a group aspect, so you really see the intentions behind people, and you'll really be surprised with some people. Like, I was surprised on episode 3. Like, yo, you gotta watch it. If you haven't watched it already, watch Beast Games. That's number 1. And a lot of people, they put it off more so because it's been on Prime, but honestly, it's worth the watch. It's probably better off than most of his YouTube videos already. It's go big or go home for him, and he went humongous. Number 4 was Beast Games. And on the same note, I bet you guys can guess where I'm going with this. It starts with games, but it ain't Beast Games. Number 5 is Squid Games. Oh yeah, you gotta watch season 2 of Squid Games. It just came out on Netflix. Watch it. It's worth it. It took place after the number 4, 5, 6. I don't know his name. I forgot his name. After the events of season 1, where he didn't get on the plane, and well, it's not really that much of a spoiler, but he goes after the game host with that $45.6 billion. I'm not gonna say much about it, but you could probably figure he gets back in the games. I mean, it turns out pretty good, and I enjoyed it. Watch season 2. With all that being said, guys, I'll catch you on the next one after my water break. My throat is killing me. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next time. Peace out.